Jesus never moved a real mountain in the Bible. So why did he say you could tell a mountain to move? Jesus said, faith moves impossible. Good morning and welcome to 755 Live. For about 5 minutes, you'll hear all about easy to remember soundbite versions of what Jesus said. And the point is to help you live life to the fullest, the Jesus way. Today's Jesus Said comes from Matthew 17, verse 14 through 20, and we'll start in the New Living Translation at verse 14. At the foot of the mountain, a large crowd was waiting for them. A man came and knelt before Jesus and said, "Lord, have mercy on my son. He has seizures and suffers terribly. He often falls into the fire or into the water. So I brought him to your disciples, but they couldn't heal him." Jesus said, "You faithless and corrupt people." Now, unpacking that a bit, he's talking to his disciples here. "How long must I be with you? How long must I put up with you? Bring the boy here to me." Then Jesus rebuked the demon in the boy, and it left him. From that moment, the boy was well. Afterward, the disciples asked Jesus privately, "Why couldn't we cast out that demon?" "You don't have enough faith," Jesus told them. "I tell you the truth, if you had faith, even as small as a mustard seed, tiny, you could say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it would move. Nothing would be impossible." Now, Jesus is using an extreme contrast here. And just a little bit of the timeline of when this happened. This was right after the Transfiguration, where Jesus miraculously glowed and Elijah and Moses showed up. This was near the end of Jesus' ministry. So the disciples had seen Jesus walk on water, fed thousands of people, raised the dead. And long before this, Jesus had given the disciples the authority to cast out demons. Matthew 10:1. He called the 12 disciples and gave them authority over unclean spirits so that they could cast them out and heal every kind of disease. But now, Jesus never moved a real mountain. So why did he use this as an analogy? I think he was using this extreme contrast here to teach us the lesson that faith it's not controlling God like a genie in a bottle. It's not about us being in control. But faith is realizing that God is in control no matter how large the obstacle is. Faith is about relationship and trust, not results. Jesus got pretty frustrated with the disciples, and with good reason. They already had what they needed, and he told them what to expect. And they should have been following his example. His example is we don't do our own thing, but what the Father is doing. Jesus said in John 5:19 through 20, he explained, "I tell you the truth, the Son can do nothing by himself. He does only what he sees the Father doing. Whatever the Father does, the Son also does. For the Father loves the Son and shows him everything he's doing. And in fact, the Father will show him how to do even greater works than healing this man. Then you will be truly astonished." That was the example that Jesus gave, and the disciples didn't have even the smallest amount of faith. The disciples believed more in their own weakness and humanity than in the power and position they had already been given. You see, faith isn't a wish, it's action based on what God has already said. Why don't we do the same? Or don't we do the same when we don't take God at his word? You don't need giant-sized faith. Even the tiniest amount is enough because you don't have to be enough. God already is more than enough. It's not you trying to fill up what's lacking in our faith, but faith is confidence beyond the circumstances, even if they look like a mountain, by taking God at his word and acting on it. 1 John 5:14 and 15 says, "And we are confident that he hears us whenever we ask for anything that pleases him. And since we know he hears us when we make our requests, we also know that he will give us what we ask for." Faith doesn't rely on anything other than God's promises, no matter what it looks like. A little dab with faith will do more than dynamite. Even mountains will move. Jesus said, faith moves impossible. How can you put that into action today? Thank you so much for listening. If this is meaningful to you, it really means a lot to me. Those of you who like this, share it, comment. I really appreciate you. Have an amazing day, and I hope this time together has helped you live life to the fullest, the Jesus way. So remember, follow Jesus today. Love first.